we step into the next level. Timeless game every day of the week. Could tell you how to level up your spirit and be success driven and mind strong. Get your finances right, get your grind on. You know there's power in the stories. Tune in, this the valor of the true man. The success blueprint. The success blueprint. The success blueprint. You're looking for the blueprint.
Well, welcome back to the Success Blueprint. I'm Jaime, the financial enabler, and I'm here with Mike, the man of valor. Today, we're stepping into episode 6, which is enjoyment for our Prosper 8 series. Again, we're defining success according to our Prosper 8 breakdown, which was purpose, radiance, ownership, skill, partnership, enjoyment, relationships, and effect. So, with fun, right, we want to define it as what is success, how do we achieve success, and Mike, based on his personality traits, is all about fun. Based on my personality traits, I am not that much about fun. And that's what you realize it, right? Fun is not one of those things that drives me and inspires me. So I definitely want to start with Mike. As somebody likes having fun,
Yeah.
for you is being successful in fun.
Yeah. So actually, it's actually enjoyment in all that I do, right? I have a portion of me that just loves I'm a people guy, right? So that's the fun side of me. I just love people. I'm an extrovert. I get life from that. I get energy from being around people. But in success, fun to me, and I say this because it's part of my personality, is winning is more fun than fun. Right. And how do I define winning? It's just, man, being able to accomplish my goals, accomplish my dreams, allow my family to do some cool stuff, right? To do some stuff that I never thought they'd be able to do. I make it fun, right? So it's like, man, can I hit this goal? I bet you I can do it faster than what I did last time. Like stuff like that, I energize myself with it and I don't be in competition with other people so much. Now, do I like healthy competition? Absolutely. Athlete by nature. I love to sometimes I want to crush people just to crush them, right? If I'm honest, right? To me, that's fun. I am a trash talker, right? When it comes to playing games and all that, that makes it more fun to me. But in success to me, bro, like if we're not having fun, why are we doing it? Because it's only going to drain me. Like I'm not going to enjoy the moment. I'm not going to enjoy doing the thing. I mean, I think that's part of the reason why I love doing hard things, why I say I enjoy the tough conversation. I like it. I like the tension. I'm like, oh, okay, we're going to learn because I think learning is fun. I think it's more so my thought process around fun than it is actually having fun, right? And I've always been told, Mike's here, the fun can start. I'm that guy. I'm like, oh, let's make it fun. Whatever we're doing, when we're we're both in the military, embracing the suck in those moments, I still had fun in basic training. I still had fun in Afghanistan when I was deployed. I still had fun in warrant officer school when it was terrible. And we got 7 minutes to get dressed, take a shower, eat, being in a mile away, seated in the classroom, which is impossible. It's just impossible. So, and we had to eat, all of those things. I still made it fun. So no matter what. So I'm that guy that's like, bro, the fun is here. I'm not irresponsible. I can come off as childish. I play too much. Yeah. But fun doesn't make it childish, right? And then for me, it's not optional.
So what you're saying, if I'm getting this right, for you to define having fun, it doesn't really have to be fun. You just are choosing to find the enjoyment in whatever you do.
Absolutely.
Okay. So what is something that we could argue was not enjoyable, like in your time, military or after, that you were like, man, this is not going to be enjoyable, but you found enjoyment in it?
Yeah, deploying for me, right? My daughter was 6 months old, not even 6 months yet, right? We only been married, 2 years at the time, barely. I'm going to a place where I personally don't believe they want me here. You know what I mean? Like not fun. I'm eating crappy food. I'm away from my family. You could die at a moment's notice. Not fun. But did I have a blast? Absolutely. I'm going to make it fun, right? That's one of those things. Another example, and I can talk about in our business, these last month's competition was a blast, right? Wasn't that fun, especially with the consequence that you and I both have, right? That I'm suffering through for today and tomorrow. You know what I mean? Like it's almost done, right? But I still do the consequence, and I'm like, all right, cool, let's go, right? And I'm screaming the whole way, but I make it fun when it sucks. You know what I mean? So those are some examples that I have for things that are just not fun, and I just make it fun. Yeah.
So it makes me think of what. So if you define it as success as finding the enjoyment, and clearly many people don't find the enjoyment, people that need it, right? I don't need to enjoy things. Like I've realized, I'm going to say, I don't go into it thinking I'm going to enjoy it, but I find the enjoyment while doing it, obviously, right? Like for me, it's like rucking. I absolutely love it. And I remember doing the hardest ruck I did was just the Memorial Baton Death March. And I remember being nervous and anxious. Is like, I want to do this. But then I was like, for me, it's like purpose, right? Like I want to go do it. Right. And that's something one day I think we'll talk about that this ties into it. The 6 personalities that our friends are literally learning it. Some people want to have fun. Some people like the facts. Some people want to feel it. Some people want to do it. Some people they're not even there, and I'm missing. Oh, and they don't have opinions, right? So you got to find what it is. So define your success in fun, right? And I don't think people are able to define that, right? People are doing a lot of things that are not enjoyable. There's like all the successful people say, just stop doing the things you don't enjoy, right? And I believe in that because they're either choosing to enjoy the things. This is how it's simple. You're either choosing to enjoy the things that you have to endure, or you're actually getting rid of the things that you don't want to do. And I always argue this to again, I'm not a parent, but you and I have had this conversation. And if somebody actually despises changing diapers, get a nanny. Hate to break it to you. Get a nanny, you'll never do it again. Well, but that costs money. Great, make more money.
There you go.
Yeah. Like simple, right? At the end of the day, it's that simple. If you don't want to do it, like and there. So I'm just gonna get into that. But finding that enjoyment. So you went to deployment. You did not think you were going to enjoy it, but you see, I enjoyed deployments. I love them. You know, I didn't have kids. I didn't have many commitments. I just would go and I loved it. What is something that you see that, let's say, is it possible to sustain success without joy?
I mean, I think it depends on the person, but at the same time, real success, I don't think so. Right? Because we heard stories of the Itma led to the world of our own mentor, Cash Rastan, who's like, man, I made $1 million and I was freaking depressed and didn't like myself. And it's like, I made it to this number that I wanted to get to and I was ready to quit. I was ready to go do something else because I wasn't having fun, right? And it just wasn't enjoyable. And that's not even his personality type, is to be like I'm a mushroom. That's why a fun guy, right? That's what I call myself. I'm a mushroom. I'm a fun guy. Like I want to have fun in all things. It's not even his personality. But when it got to this place where it's like, you know what? Maybe that's why we have enjoyment and fun, right? Those two words, right? Because maybe I just need to find some enjoyment in what I'm doing so that so I can stay sustained in it and I don't get burnt out because you end up miserable. You're focusing on the negative things and all of those things. And you literally get we know this, we get what we picture, we get what we focus on, right? So if you're not making it fun for you might be making cold calls. Fun for you might be just getting into some code or whatever the case may be. That might make it fun. It has to be enjoyable. Otherwise, you'll get burnt out. And you'll realize that, man, this isn't even the thing I enjoy. That's why people start changing careers once they get later on. They're looking for something new because they stop. The joy has been taken out of it. Man, I don't want to leave. And we hear this all the time from military folks is, man, I'm out the military. I don't want to lead people no more. I want to be in charge of folks. I don't want to do that. Why? Because it wasn't fun, right? There was no enjoyment in it. They didn't, the sacrifice wasn't there to see all those things. Honestly, and if I think about it, to me, no, you cannot have true success and not enjoy what you do. I look at John Maxwell. He's like, I don't ever want to do nothing else. Bob Proctor, he's like, bro, I don't know how to change a sink at all. I don't have to do none of that. I only want to do what I'm doing because I love it and it's fun and I enjoy it, right? It might be boring to somebody else, but as long as you're loving it and you're having a good time, bro, you're in there, right? Which makes me think about, people like yourself who's like, you know what? I don't need fun, right? I don't need to sustain that. How can you sustain success without joy?
So I think that, like you said, and need joy. I just don't need fun. I don't need to enjoy the things I'm doing. For me, and I spoke about this before, for me, the hardest thing is food. If I had a little less self-control, I would be 300 pounds. Like it would not be like a few more pounds. It would be full-blown 300, right? Because I can overeat. Like I've been places that that boy can eat and I could just eat. But I realized that I don't enjoy it. But even just last night, I put on a shirt and Tanya pulls out a picture that we took 2 years ago and it would barely fit me. And now it's humongous. And I'm like, I did not enjoy this at all getting here, but now it's worth it. So I'm always thinking about like, is it worth it? Is it worth it? Is it worth it? But I do believe that having the joy in it, right? Finding the fun in things does make it a lot easier, right? Like another guy that, like you said, that was miserable is Robin Williams, right? Freaking
Yeah.
comedian, and committed suicide. Terrible story, right? And I think that what you said, and I'm thinking about Bob Proctor and John Maxwell, I actually don't think that they had joy in what they do. They found enjoyment in it when they realized that it was that impactful, right? Like, I mean, it's a big, I mean, you tell me if I'm wrong, you know a lot more about this. There's not a lot of guys that are in mega churches that quit, like
Yeah.
main pastors, right? So for John Maxwell to turn his back on a massive church in San Diego and stay on purpose, on his purpose, it's a whole nother level. Like, and I think I'm willing to bet there's a lot of pastors of that level that are saying, this has to be my purpose. Well, maybe it's not. Maybe they're not having, but John found his purpose and then has enjoyed it throughout, that, which is a very interesting perspective, right? Many people at that level don't have that massive shift, right?
Yeah, no, that's good. That's good because, and you're right on point, right? Most people are not, usually if they're quitting, they're retiring completely because they're older or something happened to where they got to be stepping down, being removed, whatever the case may be. Yeah. And even if you listen to Bob Proctor, he'll say the first few, he didn't enjoy it. Where he's like, what the heck, bro? Like, I don't even understand how this works until he really saw the results of what took place. Then he's like, oh, I've got it, right? This is so cool that I can help a bunch of people make an impact like you talked about, which is really good in that, right? So, I mean, you mentioned church, right? And faith-based. So let's go here. Do you think if God designed us to rest, why do you think you need to reset or find a way to get out of your own mind in order to, like for you mentioned earlier, like, I love video games, right? You said that, like, that's fun to you, right? So you find a way. Do you think that's key? Why do you think that's so important?
So to me, I don't think that that's rest. To me, that's leisure.
Okay.
So to me, what I've realized is and again, this is for me, right? I believe that in my way of being, I need to be doing something. So for me, rest is either it's closer to nothing, like meditation, or thinking or sleeping, right?
Okay.
I rest. But when I play video games, for me, it's like I gotta get my brain and send it somewhere else.
A
Right?
reset.
Exactly. To me, it's just a distraction, right? And I only play video games that are challenging. I like the challenge. I like the search, all of that. But I enjoy that. But like you look at my day of enjoyment, it's like I pretty much read, work out, and work. Read, work out, and work. Read, work out, and work. Like when I go out with Tanya, like, I'm not only doing it for her, but I could easily just be working. Like I would not trip about that. And I realized that I have to accept this, and that's why I connect with like Alex Hormozy or Jensen Huang, right? The CEO of NVIDIA. He says, if I'm watching a movie, I'm thinking about work. And when I'm working, I'm thinking about work. And when I'm not working, I'm thinking about work. But he found enjoyment in that. I believe I like that. And that's, I feel very fortunate to find the enjoyment on those potentially unenjoyable things. But when there's a few like video games that allows me to, I think a better phrase is like disconnect. It's like I disengage. It's like I'm not thinking about work. And that's what I like about it. I do find the enjoyment in disconnecting from that.
Got it. That's good. That's good. And if I tie that, and if I can tie that faith-based right, it's like it's so important to actually reset, to have a way to be able to do that because we go through so many things. God did it. 1 through 6, he created. 7th day, he rested, right? Or reset, and then looked at what he actually had done and said, man, this is good, right? And then after each day, he even said it. He created man and woman and saw what he had created and said, this is good, right? So there was a way of saying, all right, cool, I'm resetting this. What I did was amazing. Now let's move to the next thing, right? And I think that's key, right, for us to be able to do that and prioritize that stuff so we don't actually get burnt out, right? And I'm a big firm believer that no matter what industry you're in, that's why leave is so important. That's why days off is so important. They do it in the military everywhere. Give you 30 days a year in the military, right? Most jobs in the corporate sector, private sector, 2 weeks, whatever the case may be, is they're giving people up to 28 days, stuff like that. And if you notice, some big corporations like Google and some other spaces, even HPE are moving to unlimited PTO. Why? Because they realize that if I just give people access, they'll actually work more and take less days off,
Yeah.
right?
It's
Which
a
is
trap.
insane, right? It's a trap, but it's true because most people won't
Yeah.
take it. They're like, oh, yeah, I'm gonna get after it. And they wait till they get ready to get to burnout and okay, now I'm gonna take some time off, right?
Mhm.
And get up to that point, and most people won't do it. So it's really good. That is vital. That rest is vital. It meant finding some kind of way to, even if you don't enjoy what you do, listen, not all of us are gonna have to be able to do everything that we love to do for our entire. You're gonna have
Mhm.
to do some stuff that you don't want to do, right? We're building our business right now. I guarantee you and I both, if we had to, we'll go stock shelves at night to make sure our families ate.
Oh yeah.
I'll
For
do what I
sure.
got to do. I won't enjoy that, but I will enjoy the process of doing it because I know I'm doing these things for my family and I'll find enjoyment in it just to make sure that I have to do what I do for my family to make sure that we're eating and doing the things and everything staying afloat, right? And on our way to building long-term wealth, if we had that, right? Fortunately, right now, we don't have that in our families. We're good to go, but we'll do whatever it takes, right? So I think
Mhm.
that's vital for us so we don't have burnout in every area of our life, right? Now, I personally have noticed that when I do have I'm the type of guy that needs like some type of fun, something like you for video games. I need to go be around people. I need to go do something. Or let's work out. Let's get together. Let's play some cards. Let's do you know what I mean? Like I love stuff like that because it helps me reset, right?
Yeah.
If I don't get it probably once a week, once every 2 weeks, like Candace is like, call your, you need to do something because you get on my nerves. And I'm like, oh shoot, I need fun, right?
Yeah.
I find a way to reset. So I don't go through that, right?
And one thing that accused me with what you just said about Candace is that you know how like I'm gonna use guys as an example or women too in this guys that are like I love hunting and I love fishing and I'm like yeah but can you hunt and fish every day? No. Can you go women go shopping? Can you do whatever you enjoy every day? No. And I feel that like you have fun like on the day to day, but that's so like you're constantly energized. But people that are only enjoy the things that they can do for a few weeks or months a year, you're miserable 10 years, 10 months of the year.
Yeah.
It's terrible, right? Like, how do you find more enjoyment? And maybe that's a question. How can people find more enjoyment on their day to day?
Yeah, it's a great question. I think I'll tell you for me, it ties to purpose,
Mm,
right? It ties to understanding that what I'm doing is bigger than me, right? It's more so, and it has to do with my family, it has to do with the people that we're reaching, it has to do with all of those things, right? Can I get my wife to smile, right? I find enjoyment in things like, can I walk into a room and be like, give her a look and I'm enjoying that. You know what I mean? Like, so everything I do, I'm trying to find a way to bring some type of enjoyment, pleasure, happiness, impact to other people's life. And that's where it helps me out. Right. And so I'm looking for it. So even if you're the coder behind the scenes that nobody ever sees, you got to find a way to do a thing to say, man, I'm making an impact here and this is enjoyable because I am impacting the company, the people, whatever the case may be. You have to find it in purpose. Right. And it made me think about this. Kids don't have to be reminded to have fun.
yeah.
Only adults.
Yeah.
And like life is much simpler for a kid, sure, right? Not all kids, because some have it really, really tough, right? Where they don't have a great environment. But for the most part, a kid, you don't have to ever tell a kid to have fun. They're gonna find a way. I remember as a kid, my brother. So I have 2 siblings. I'm the oldest of 3. My sister's in between me and my brother. Me and my sister be sitting there chilling. My brother would find doggone salt and pepper shakers and just
Mhm.
play. He'll have a blast with nobody else around with just salt and pepper shakers. He'll find a way to have fun, right? And if I think back on that, I'm like, man, we have to find a way to find enjoyment, and no matter what that looks like. So that's for me. It's tied to purpose.
Yeah. So I think for me it's same thing is that if I'm going to do something that I enjoy, it has to be very intentional, right? Like same thing, purposeful, right? Because if not, for me, it feels like a waste of time. When I was in the military, when people were like, oh, let's go play team sports. And I was like, I hate it, right? Because to me, it's like, it feels like a waste of time. Like somebody's going to get hurt. And it just wasn't for me. I did not find any enjoyment in team sports with the guys, ever.
Wow.
I would have rather go work out. It's like, I'd rather go run because for me, if I'm just playing ball, right, I'm not trying to be a basketball player. You're slowing me down from the goals that I have, right? But it took me a while to accept that. And even though I was overweight for all 20 years of my career, I never weighed myself overweight. I would just always was, and I never weighed overweight. I knew that my purpose, like I had to go work out. I needed to. me, it felt like if I'm gonna go play ball, I struggle losing weight. And if there's a weigh-in this Friday, I'm stressing out. So I'm gonna go run, I'm gonna go lift, whatever I had to do, because I was always a borderline guy. And that to me was, I had to make sure that I was in my purpose to enjoy it. And then the other way that I sought enjoyment was adrenaline, right? Like when I was skydiving, I have 1,200 jumps. I really enjoyed that, but I still remember, even after 1,000 jumps, I remember feeling a fear, like right before I jumped. I was like, I'm nervous. What if this thing doesn't work? And I still did it, right? But I found that I needed that adrenaline rush to give me that enjoyment, and it was within my purpose, and I was seeking to get better. So that's what I did. And again, it all comes down to purpose. And while you were talking, and you said something about faith-based, and I asked ChatGPT, mention all the times that it mentions like fun or play in the Bible. Funny enough, vast majority of them revolve around children and animals, like the Leviathan. And I was like, it's so funny that you said children, and then that said children. And it's like, it really, when we act like children, it's really that good for us.
It's that good.
And how we have fun, how people, you can walk up to a kid and be like, you're ugly. I was like, no, I'm not.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like you can't even insult them because they're having fun, right? And it really shows how, and we miss out on that as adults.
Yeah.
That model of like, always be having fun, be playful. If somebody tells you something, it's just fun and games. Obviously, don't go disrespecting any children, because you'll go to jail for that. Yeah. But you can have fun with it. And we can be so much better about just not taking life so seriously, which I think is definitely a big problem with that.
Let me ask you this, right? And I agree. When it comes to high performers, right? I think people get stuck in general with guilt of the fun that they want to have. Does that make sense? Like they're like, man, I feel bad for wanting to go do that. Like yourself, you're like, man, I'm thinking when I'm resting, I'm be like, man, I could be working. When I'm playing, man, I feel behind, right? All of those things. How do you find joy? So it's not one. I don't want it to be shallow. How do you reframe your mind around rewards and fun and doing those things? Like, how do you do that as a high performer? Because you have that.
I did a high performance program, and I think what I feel that I gathered is that a high performer needs to be so intentional with what he's doing or she's doing to be able to craft the fun and enjoyment they want, right? Jensen Huang loves working, right? And I'm going to use Hormozy because he gave the best construct of this. Hormozy loves 3 things. He loves working out as much as he wants. He likes eating with whoever he wants, and he likes being able to write. So let's say he spends 6 to 10 hours a day doing those 3 things. That gives him so much enjoyment. But this guy also, he's known for waking up really early, working super late, working a ton, grinding many hours. But he knows that he has to go work out. He wants to eat with people he likes, and he wants to write. And I think that high performers, and that's what leads to burnout in my mind, is that they feel that they have to perform at a high level and only do work and push the chains without finding the things that revitalize, give us enjoyment and fulfillment, right? Because I'm sure that, and again, that's what leads to burnout. That's why people end up cheating on their wives. If you're grinding nonstop, after a certain point, you are more at risk of being distracted when a temptation gets put in front of you, whether it's alcohol, whether it's women, because now you're not enjoying the things that you have in your life. Again, like we said in a few episodes ago, you get distracted by the life that you're not living, right?
Yes.
So you got to make your life a life worth living. And, that's something that we've been taught. We don't go on vacations. By the way, Mike and I never go on vacations because we're living our life that feels like a vacation. We travel when we want. We may work when we travel, but it never feels like I don't remember the last time that since we started doing what we're doing, do you remember ever saying, it's like, man, I need to go on a vacation?
No, it's almost frustrating when people say, hey, you need a vacation. I'm like, I don't do those. Like, what are you talking about?
I don't want that.
My life is a vacation. What do you mean?
Yeah. I'm about to go somewhere and I'm going to enjoy it. It's great.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Yeah. Do you, what have you, just to like wrap it up, in the faith side, what is some of the messaging that pastors or anybody you've heard convey an enjoyment on the faith side?
Yeah, I mean, I think about Ecclesiastes 3, where there's a time and a season for everything, right? A time for work, a time for enjoyment, right? And God really built that into it's a rhythm, right?
Mhm.
So we work, we rest, we show effort and pushing forward, and we enjoy it, right? At the same time, if you think about planting, like we often in the Bible talks about seed time, harvest, right? There's a time to plant, there's a time to do this. I mean, there's a time to enjoy it. You know what I mean? Like what's the point of going out here and planting all this fruit and food and all those things and never eating it. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And that's the way I think about life. So in the Bible, same thing, right? We have to rest and you'll see a lot of a lot of pastors, a lot of, do this. They take a month off, go church, they go hang with their family, take their wife on vacation, take the kids do that. You know what I'm saying? Like they go do what they do, spend some time by themselves, spend some time with mentors, go get some counts. All of that stuff is vital to life and into you being able to continuously and sustain the things that you're doing in order for you to get to the goals that you want. Right.
Mhm.
So it's definitely talked about. You got to, and that's why even in the Bible's a business book, just talks about business all throughout it. Like you and I know that we watch, Myron Golden talk about that and stuff all the time. But there, it says count the cost, and not just the cost of the business, not just the cost of the thing that you're invested in, but how's it going to affect your life? Right. Can you still have enjoyment? Can you still find peace? Can you still have prosperity? Can you have the time with your family? Can you know what I'm saying? Do you have all of those things? And you got to count the cost for all of it. So it's not all hustle, 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 no enjoyment, none of that. You got to have, there's a healthy balance. And I hate using the word balance because there's seasons for everything. Right. It's about prioritization in my better than I do balance. But you need that, right, for you to be able to sustain those things all together. So my recommendation to every single person is you need to find a way to rest, reset, and then restore your life in a way to where you can continually go forward in everything, whether that's with other people, whether that's with, just your spouse, whether it's time alone, whether it's fun. And we're not saying go do something. I'm not telling you to go do something fun that's detrimental, right? And find a way that's not going to help you. It's different. Like it'd be crazy for you and I, but yeah, we got to go have fun and then go do cocaine, heroin, and all that. That was fun. No, man, it's going to kill my life, right? That's not smart, right? Don't do all of it. Stay away from that stuff, right? But find a way that you can have some peace and have some fun, reset so you can sustain the life and continue in purpose. Yeah.
For sure. And I'll ask you this last question because it just cued me in with it. Obviously, there's a hustle culture. People say, don't hustle, go enjoy life. So my question is, do we truly have a problem with too many people hustling, or do we have a problem of too many people not hustling enough?
I like the people not hustling enough, right? I don't think we have enough of that. I think a lot of times, in my humble opinion, we give ourselves too much credit. Most of us don't know what it really looks like to work hard. I mean, like truly work after something, been through some adversity, man, I had blood, sweat, and tears at the end of it. You're dog freaking tired, either mentally, physically, emotionally, all of the things you're like, man, shoot, but it was so worth it. And you realize I grew in the moment. Right. I could do harder things. And that's what it was like for you doing that ruck. Right. For me, the first time I did a half Ironman, I hate running. I hate swimming. And I'm like, this is so stupid. Why do y'all do this? Right. Not enjoyable at all. I made it fun because I was with the people that I was with, but doing the thing, I'm like, okay, all right, at least I know I can do it. You know what I mean? Like, and to do the hard thing. So I just don't, personally, not enough of us in our culture today really know what it looks like to hustle, to grind.
And it's interesting because I think that there's just, and I'll put it out there, I think if there's too many haters on the people hustling, that they make it out as if there was too much hustle when there's really not enough hustle. And you're right, the guilt thing is interesting. Like, I worked my ass off, but I slept 8 hours last night and I feel guilty. I was like, man, again, go get your 8 hours of sleep. Highly recommended, totally worth it, great for your health and longevity. But that's something that I got to negotiate, is that extra hour that important to me of sleep? Am I not hustling or doing the things I have to, or spending time with my girl, whatever? And you start thinking about that. But I definitely believe that we want to enjoy and be successful with our enjoyment versus just living a leisurely life instead of hustling. Yeah, that's cool.
Well, let me give you this. We'll give you a challenge for this, right? For this one thing. I'll give you 3 things. Okay. 1, first off, enjoyment challenge for the week. Number 1, schedule one activity purely for joy, right? No productivity attached. Just enjoy that one activity. Number 2, be fully present, not on your phone, not multitasking, any of that. And then number 3, ask yourself afterwards, did you feel lighter, clearer, and more energized? Right? So
Ooh.
that's just a challenge for you to do over this next week, man. And I'm telling you, you'll find a way to do it. It doesn't have to be 10 hours. It don't have to be a whole day. We're not saying that. It could be 30 minutes. It could be 20 minutes. It could be an hour. It could be 2. It could be whatever the case may be, but find something, one
Mm,
activity, right?
for sure.
And go from there.
That's
Cool.
really good. Well, guys, this is episode 6, Prosperous series, a success blueprint. We'll see you guys soon. Have a good one.